Hello everyone, very good morning to all of you. Today we'll go through the same unit 4 society from your sociology subject. So we have already discussed up to the structure of a group. Till this slide we have already completed in our previous class. So next we'll discuss about intergroup relationship. So what do we mean by intergroup relationship? We'll see the next. So, in any democratic society, people's attitudes are a matter of vital importance to the state. So, interaction and interrelationship, those are in between interaction and interrelationship between the group members, which leads to the formation of social bonds. It creates social bonds and relationships, social relationship. So, in the primary groups, the sentiment is present in the primary group. Hence, there is interrelations in between the members in the primary groups. But in secondary groups, there is not any sentiment. Sentiment is missing in the secondary group. Okay. Hence, no interrelationship is there in the secondary group. Primary group is exactly opposite of secondary groups. Okay. So, the individual is a member of a group, of the family, of a community. Okay, so here, who is the individual? It's a member of a group or a family or a community. So, who has to follow the traditions of that particular group? Okay, for example, you can say in many communities like India, the person is not permitted to marry outside of his caste. You know, okay, so this is a result of person to group relationship. Okay, so social interactions convert the biological organism into human, social, and moral beings. Okay, so as a result of social interaction, the individual acquires attitude towards the persons, towards the situations, towards the things and issues. Okay, so knowing the pattern of the group relations is essential to understand a community, or is essential to understand a society, or the process of the social control. So these are all about the intergroup relationship. Okay, next we'll see about group cycle. So the social sciences are dedicated to understanding the human conditions, ideally to extend that the singular and collective behaviors of human beings can be understood and even predicted. So though their goals are identical in the abstract. Okay, so these sciences differ in terms of their way of looking at things and the questions they ask, the methods they use in addressing these questions. Okay, and what they do with this information once they obtain it. Okay, so what does it mean? Social sciences are what we call as social science. It is to understanding the human conditions. Okay, ideally to the extent that is that the singular and collective behaviors of human beings can be understood, okay, and predicted. Social science means to understanding human conditions, okay, human behaviors, okay, so which can be understood and which can be even predicted also. So their goals are identical in the abstract. These sciences differs of their way of looking at the things. It differs according to their group, according to their view. Okay, so looking toward a particular things. Okay, so there are different peoples are there, no, according to the people they have the different view towards the things. Okay, so the questions are they asking, the methods they use in addressing their questions, this type of questions, how they are addressing, these are different. Okay, so, sociologists, on the other hand, being more interested in understanding the relationship between group structures and processes. Okay, So these are inclined to give greater attention to the social settings and individuals roles there within. Okay, sociologist what it saying, it's saying that being more interested in understanding the relationship here, it means understanding the relationship between the group structures and processes, okay, which are inclined to give greater attention to the social settings and individuals roles there within, okay, within the settings, within the social settings, okay. Next, as opposed to psychology's automation of the human condition, which focusing on the self and its inner workings, sociologist attention is directed toward the human connections, then connectedness with others is an overarching personal drive, and the bonds produced comprise the social fabric of interrelationships, okay. So it focusing on the self and its own inner workings, okay, inner things. Sociologist's attention is directed toward the human connections here, okay. So the strength of this social fabric is determined by the multiplicity and quality of connections individuals and groups have with each other. So further, from this sociological perspective of the human condition, these groups have dynamics of their own, okay. So that cannot be reduced down to the psychology of individuals. So like differing board games, these social orders have their own rules, own roles, also their own styles to play, okay, traditions, their own cultures, and it the rates of change over the time. They're changing the rules, cultures over the time, okay. So change the game, and you change the style of thinking, the language, motivations, activities, alliances, and identities of the players, okay. So, for these reasons, that psychologically inclined social psychologists are more likely to examine how individuals' perception, how their belief systems, how their moralities, identities, and their behaviors are determined by their positions in the social space. So like the culture of their primary socializations, the slice of social history intersecting their biographies, okay, such as coming of age during a time of depression or war, okay, their locations within the stratifications, which orders of gender, race, okay, age, social class, their roles within the institutional orders of religion, work, and community, okay. So the geographical context, what are here geographic context of their childhood, such as a region of the country or the size of cities wherein they lived, and their membership in and relative identifications with various social groups, okay. So these are the positions, these are the reasons, okay. Next we'll discuss about group behavior. It is classified into two: norms and groups goals. What we can say Hackman, okay, and according to cohesiveness, seashore, okay. So we'll discuss one by one. Norms and norms. You know what do we mean by norms? Like some set of principles, rules, okay. Norms are structural characteristics of group which summarize and simplify group influence processes. So norms apply only to behavior, not private thoughts and feelings, okay. It applies only to behavior, okay. So these are generally developed only for behavior which are viewed as important by most groups members. Okay, so these are usually developed gradually, but the process can be shortcutted. Okay, if members so desire, then the process can be shortcutted. So these are not all, sometimes not all norms are applied to everyone. Okay, so these are the Hackman's norms. Okay, norms and groups goals. What are those? Norms are structural characteristics of group which summarize and simplify the group influences processes. Okay. Next we'll see about cohesiveness, or otherwise called as seashore. So productivity of group members would be more likely if it has a high level of cohesiveness. Okay, so these are differences in productivity levels between the groups according to the level of cohesiveness of each group. Okay, so what do you mean by cohesiveness? It means the quality of stickness, or connecting to each other, stickness. Okay, that means, it means the quality of sticking together. So here what happens, the productivity of group members would be more likely if it has a high level of cohesiveness. Okay, so there are differences in productivity levels between the groups according to a level of cohesiveness of each group. Okay, so here cohesiveness can cause low or high productivity depending on the behavior of managers. Okay, so what are the problems? Sometimes solving in a group. Okay, solving in a group using of nominal grouping for fact finding and generating ideas, use of structured group interactions and informal discussion for clarifying and evaluating the idea which are generated. Okay, so these are the all about cohesiveness. Okay, next we'll discuss about group morale. So here every group has leader. You know, every group has leader. One leader should be there. So they are responsible for the leader are responsible for the solidity of the group behavior and the moral of the people in the group. So groups work together. As you know, groups are working together. Each member of that group, they are works together. They have definite programs and they have definite objectives to achieve. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So often their members think, feel, and act togetherly. So they have similar thinking. They have common objectives. They have definite programs. Okay, they are acting togetherly in that group. So people participate in common actions because the norms of the group have become internalized as properties of the self. So if the people do not feel the norms of the group as entirely peremptory and externally own needs and aspirations, the group norms are people or individual norms. So groups norms means groups rule and regulations. Those are individuals norms. Okay, so the norms are shared, not merely endured. Okay, norms are shared, so they have become personal and are not felt wholly as external pressures. The person aspect, the moral, this involvement of the ego in the group's values and activities are very important property of a good moral. Okay. Esprit de corps moral or self-involvement in the group activities are thus prerequisites the group cohesiveness. So, esprit de corps refers what it means. It refers to the feelings of the group identification or a kind of team spirit. Okay, moral sustains the members along enough to make quitting with one another possible and enduring. Okay, so what it refers, esprit de corps refers to the feeling of the group identification or a kind of team spirit. Okay, so without team spirit and without self involvement, a group might arise and even function but couldn't long endurance. Okay, it couldn't sustain for long period. Okay, so many community problems can be solved by each other's effort. So if the group members are working or cooperating each others, then only the community problems will solve. Okay, so the problem is one of how to make these group activities happy and satisfy experiences for those who participate in them. Okay, so the main problem is one of how to make these group activities happily and satisfying experiences for those who are participating in that group. Okay, so these are all about group moral. Next we'll see about social change. So before learning about something, we should have to know about the introduction of that thing. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, so society has changed. Social change refers to any modification in established patterns of inter-human relationship and standards of conduct. Okay, so society has changed, and social change, which refers to any modification in established patterns and inter human relationship and standards of conduct. So this the word change, which denotes a difference in the anything observed over some period of time. Okay, so change means here, what does it mean? It is the difference in anything which anything observed over some period of time. So the social change means observable differences in any social phenomena over any period of time. Okay, so next we'll see what are the definitions of social change. So according to Kingsley Davis, social change is defined as alterations as occur in social organizations, that is structure and function of society. So what he said, social change is the alterations as occur in social organizations, which are occurring in the social organization. Alteration means changing. Okay, that is structure and functions of the society. What are the structure and functions of altering in the society? What occurs? What alterations are occurs in the society, social organization? Like what are the changes in structure and functions over a period of time? Okay, so that is social change according to the Kingsley Davis. Then next, according to Lundberg, okay, social change refers to any modification in established patterns of interhuman relationship and standards of conduct. So what is said here? So it refers to any modification in established patterns of interhuman relationships and standards of conduct. Okay, so it is the any modification, any changing in which establishing, which creating patterns of interhuman relationships and standards of conduct, that is known as social change, which stated by Lundborg. Next we will see what are the main factors of social change which helps to changing the society. Society, which helps, which are the main factors which occurs the social change. So several factors have been emphasized by sociologists for social change. So it may be mentioned here that a single factor alone cannot be held responsible for social changes. So there are several factors out to work together. Okay. So Sutherland and Woodward have given the following factors. These are the following factors. So according to Sutherland and Woodward, they have given the following factors, 9 factors, which are the main factors according to him. According to them, these are the main 9 factors of social change. So what are they? First one is geographical, second one is demographic, third one is biological, fourth one is technological, fifth one is economical, then ideological, then cultural, eighth one is psychological, and last one is political and military factors. Okay, so we will discuss one by one. So what do we mean by geographical? How it is a factor? We'll see. So geographical factor, or also known as physical factor, you can say, okay, which is changes in the geographic environment, which creates changes in the social life, okay, and this is the factors which comprise all the inorganic means non-living phenomenon which exert an influence of human life. Okay, so natural events like floods, droughts, earthquake, or climate change. Okay, so these changes in the course of rivers, you can say excessive soil erosion, no, which lead to demographic changes and changes in trade routes. Okay, so geographic changes which affect the food supply, leading to new dietary habits. So it affecting the food supply, which leading to new dietary habits. So this is also important factor which occurs social change. Okay, which is the main factor of social change. Second factor, we'll see demographic change. This is the another factor of social change. So in the relationship between human population, destiny, okay, environment, culture is a fundamental one in relation to social change. So population increase or decrease determine social institutions and social relations very much. So an expanding populations, or explosion of population in any country, which brings many changes in the nations economics, especially population explosion. No. So it bring many changes, vast changes in the nation's economic. Okay, so population explosion which creates problems of low standard of life, like unemployment and higher density. So these are the problems which creates by population explosion. So these are the demographic changes, which is a main factor, another main factor of social change. Okay, next we'll see about biological factor. So biological factor, it's like a biological environment which affects the human cultural pattern in much the same way as does the geographic environment. So man utilizes the available plant and available animal life by his culture. Okay, so man wards off enemy. So biological environment, it affects the human culture pattern. So that's why it's important factor. Okay, so race is an important biological factor. This is also important, which affects a biological environment, which affects the human culture pattern in much the same ways as does geographical, like a geographic environment. Okay, so for that, man utilizes the available plant, available animal by his culture. Okay. Next, we'll discuss about technological factors. What are the technological factors which affecting the which causing the social change? So technology, as you know, which refers to the body of the knowledge about how to adapt to make use and act of a physical environment and their material resources in order to satisfy human needs. Yes or no? Okay. Yes. So advancement in information technology is the latest invention which has totally revolutionized the world. Okay, so advancements is necessary. It is an advancement in information technology is the latest invention which has the total revolutionized the world. Okay, so scientific discoveries and inventions which are very important for social life, the motor car, telephone, okay, railway, and other like radio, television. So these have great impact on the society and on its institutions. Okay, so in technology is also important, no? So technology has also brought about unemployment due to displacement of labor. So here, due to technology, advanced technology, so they are means companies, industries are not requiring many people, okay, to work there, because they have the advanced technology which by which they can do their work very effectively and very shortly. Okay, so though they don't need many peoples and they don't need many labor. Okay, so that's why it occurs unemployment. So here that is saying means technology has bringing about unemployment. Due to advanced technology unemployment occurs. Okay, so displacement it is due to displacement of labor. Okay, next we'll discuss about economical factors. So it is a relation between production which constitutes the economic structure of society and the real foundations for the legal and political superstructures. Okay, so economic it's a relation between the production and what? Between the production means what? Which constitutes the economic structure of the society and what? Real foundations of legal and political superstructures. Okay, this is also an important factor uh, for social change. Next, we'll see about ideological factor. So, ideologies. Yeah, what do you mean by ideologies? These are the ideas. Okay, ideas that the people give in the society. In a society, so people gives in a society. These are the set of ideas which are people give in a society. That means ideologies, that is called as ideologies. So thus ideologies are powerful motivation changes in social changes, like what people think, what they do, and what they want. So here it's saying that ideological factor are also important, means set of ideas, people which type of ideas they are giving in the society, that also important factor for social change. Next we'll see about cultural factors. So culture, it is very important. Culture is a unique possessions, and it's transmitted from generation to generation. Yes or no? It transmitted from generation to generation. So culture plays an important role in social change. So there are also social inventions, for example social act or legislations, and marriage act, then against act, there are many act which are against constitutions, act against constitutions, prostitutions, child act, child marriage, restraint act. So these are all called social changes too. Okay, these are also change, means causing social change. Okay. Next we'll see about psychological factors. So psychological social change, what first, social change is much facilitated and promoted by new ambitions, aspirations and attitudes of people. So these in turn are helped by several factors including education. So dissatisfaction with the existing conditions and facilities is common in this modern days. Yes or no? The psychological factor is also important factor which cause social change. Okay. Political, then political and military factors. So these are the democracy. Political means democracy, socialism, which brings innumerable changes in the society. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So democracy aims at providing equal opportunities for all. For example, democracy establishes political, economical, and social equality. Okay, there is not any but dissimilarity. The equality should be there. Means not any means of but he is other caste, she is other caste. Not in political. What democracy for all, no, which establishes political, economical and social equality only. Okay, which creates a government for people, for the people, by the people and of the people. It creates a government it creates the government for the people, working for the people. Okay, and creating by the people and based of the people, of the people. Okay, so these are the main factors, main 9 factors which causing social change. Okay, according to the Sutherland and Woodward, who have given the who have given these 9 factors which are the main factors which causes social change. Then there are some obstacles to social change. People have a tendency to oppose changes in any field, technological and social. So, however, oppositions to social inventions such as is much more than that of technological. So there are many phases tending to block acceptance. They group these obstacles under 6 headings. Like what are those 6? Inertia, habit, suspicion, tradition, vested interest, lack of knowledge. So these are these are the factors which are opposing social change. Are all closely interrelated. Okay. So with this, I'm winding up my session, today's session. Okay. So what we have discussed, I'm repeating again. Today we have discussed about intergroup relationship, group cycle, then group behavior. Yes or no? Group behavior, group moral. What are the group moral and social change? About social change we have discussed, and what are the main factors of social changes. There are 9 factors we have discussed one by one. Already we have discussed. Okay, so if you have any doubt you can ask me, you can put a message personally. Okay, thank you for listening me. Have a good day.